Today I received a friend request from a woman named Babs. Oh yeah, Babs? What is that short for? Barbara, Babina, Babadook? So she wanted me to go to her website to see all her pics, winky face. Huh. Not on this day, lady. You must think I'm some kind of rube to fall for that clever ruse. Oh, no, not this guy. I'm not a mark. My name is Randy. But it got me thinking. I bet somewhere out there in the universe there is a woman who is extremely shy, trying to make friends online, but no one will accept her friend request because they think she's spam. They just think she's the spammiest lady. Listen, it's not her fault that her parents named her Delicious. And it's not her fault every picture she takes looks like it's a high-quality ad in some fashion mag. Should we really take it out on Delicious because she had the good fortune to hit that genetic lottery and be blessed with model-esque perfect 10 good looks? I mean, this Delicious, she's just sitting at home so upset. She's like, oh my God, nobody wants to be my friend. Just because her perfect cheekbones are shaped in such a way as to funnel the slightest breeze up to her hair, making it look like it's always blowing in the wind, that's no reason to take it out on Delicious. Yes, she does have a cam website. She's a wedding photographer. Check out her rates. She's really good. Go to her website, naughtycam.com. You'll see the best wedding pics. It's not her fault she's naive and didn't realize somebody might think naughtycam.com might be a XXX site, you know? The next time you get this is what I want you to do, dear listener. The next time you get a request on that Facebook to be friends with someone you don't know, I want you to think long and hard about the person on the other end of that friend request. I mean, I want you to think about what they must be going through. You should feel privileged that somebody reached out and was like, this guy, I want that guy, I want that girl to be my friend so they can see all the clever memes I post on the daily. You know? Give Delicious a chance. It's not her fault she's so tasty. By the way, I am flying solo today. I am solo. So low I could win any limbo contest. These are the jokes. But anyways, this is a miserable retail short. We're going to have some fun. Let's have some fun, shall we? I'm forced to do this because the podcasting mixer took a crap on me. So it's just me and you, kid. Hard times indeed. Drop that beat, T-boy.
Put it in. We're drinking summer shandy on Thursday. We so motherfucking out here, though. We never been this out here. Woo! So strange when it's changing the sleep. What you know about Leonard Skinner? The whacker the intro, the hotter the verse every time, baby. Well, I've been working like a working man do. Got my act together, gonna walk all over you. Pressure pushing down on me, pushing down on you. Shit, let's raise the roof. Woo! About time, it's the era of the rebels. Cloud 9 in the air up in the vessels. Generation fearless, got a taste for weirdness. Flow on fire, that's the way my beard is. Hard times, jump starting the grind. It's all good, y'all. Things fall apart sometimes. Let it go, let me know when you're ready, though. Don't push me, cuz until the edge I'm close. When the time comes, ride for something. Or live to be 9 and then just die for nothing. Speak their heart, your baby, speak their mind. And I'ma play their part, and I'ma freak that rhyme one time for you. Rhyme one time for you. I'm an island, man. There ain't nothing else by me, man. And I drink enough whiskey to float a battleship around this bitch any motherfucking how. Wow.
Welcome to the Miserable Retail Slave Show. I'm coming to you from the pod check outside beautiful Flint, Michigan, USA. My name is Randy. How is everybody doing today? Thank you all so much for downloading your favorite big dumb comedy show. Now with 100% less Tommy because he's a busy boy. And plus, my mixer took a shit. So, in podcasting terms, this is what you get for the time being. But thank you all for listening. We're still going to have a good time. I think you'll enjoy. Like, without you, dear listeners, I don't know what I would do. You are all the dots above my eye. Without you all, there is no I, only an L, which would stand for loser, and that would make me so sad. But you're here, so you're like the dots above my eye, except I'll draw the dot as like a heart shape because I like you and stuff, and I have all the romantic notions of a fifth grader. Currently, I'm like passing you a note written on a piece of paper, like a loose leaf notebook paper, that says, "Do you like me?" with 3 boxes that says yes, no, maybe. Yeah, I'm that kind of romantic, hey girls, hey. Now, as you all know, dear listeners, I bask in the glory of the awkward situation, and I report back to you on a regular basis about these occurrences. Usually I soak in all the details like a voyeuristic sponge, and then I regurgitate my findings back to you, baby bird style, directly into your eardrums. Like usually it's out in public or at a bar or a store, or sometimes it's working at the retail paradise that gainfully employs me. This story, however, did not happen to me. Oh, no. This happened at the retail paradise that gainfully employs my mother. That's right. My mother is also a miserable retail slave from time to time. Yeah, we're all caught in that retail web. Whether we want it or not, we struggle like flies and we can't escape. And then the retail just sucks the blood and spirits from us like a spider. So, my mom works at a quilt store. So you can imagine the type of clientele that walks in there. Like imagine all of your moms and your grandmas, all gray hair and sassy attitudes, and add a bunch of thread and fabric, some needles. It's grandma's gone wild all up in that mug. So my mom is working at this place last Saturday, and this lady walks in, and she carries with her an odor. You ever hear of an odor? You ever experience an odor? Well, this was some smell, according to mi madre. So she walks in, and she's wearing these overalls that are smudged with all this dirt and this mud. She's got these big old snow boots on, all covered in muck, and she's trailing all this shit in to the store. Not your typical client, I would dare say. She walks into the store, and she immediately announces that she's aware that she stinks. There was the elephant in the room, and she walked right up to it and poked it right in the trunk. She's like, I know I stink. I know you smell me. I'm aware. Pretty brave. Now, after admitting to her stank to the entire store, which is one hell of an entrance to make, right? I know I stink. Like, that's what you say as soon as you walk into someplace. Okay. So anyways, she adds to the statement. She had to explain why she stunk so bad. She says, sadly, her horse died the day before, and she tried to bury it the night before, but the ground was too frozen, so she had to do it that morning, right before she went to the quilt store. Now, that's a lot to unpack right there. Like, did she decide the ground was too frozen to bury the horse, and so she cut the horse open and slept inside it for warmth during the night? As the Nate Bargatze joke about dead horses goes, it gotta be hard to move a dead horse, right? You lug that giant carcass to the designated equine burial area, you're not gonna want to lug it back. Plus, you don't want to leave it out in the open for all the coyotes and birds and hobos to feast on, so you gotta protect it somehow. So I would imagine, she kind of pitched a tent or lived inside the horse for a night. Really get one last close encounter with her beloved horse. I guess it depends on how much you loved your horse, but it seemed like this would be the perfect time to send a message to all your enemies. An old lover that wronged you, a family member that stole from you, maybe a coworker that tattled on you. Nothing says watch your step like the head of a full-grown palomino thrown onto the bed of your slumbering adversary. That's a sort of Godfather-style goonery that's only possible when you have a horse corpse in your possession. Why would you let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity go without some sort of shenanigans, huh? 3 cheers to this woman, though, for burying a horse. That's quite a physical feat to pull off. I don't see your typical crocheting grandma burying any horse anytime soon, but I really don't know why her first move after burying a horse is to go straight to a quilt store. Like, I could imagine maybe cruising to a liquor store, pull one out for your fallen horsey. That makes sense to me. But to go straight out into public without changing your clothes, though, leads me to believe that you want people to know that you just buried a horse. Sorry for the reek, but, horse corpse? I have to say, though, that's really an alpha female move to admit that she stunk to everyone in the area. Like, this woman has more bravery than I have, strutting around in your dirty overalls, the death stink of a freshly buried horse clinging to you like a pair of unwashed leggings. That's more bravery than I possess. Here's a confession, dear listeners. Stinking has always been a worry of mine. Now, you would think that the worry of stinking would make me want to shower compulsively 5 times a day or something to overcompensate. That would make some sense if it's such a deep concern. However, I just sit there in quiet despair and wonder if someone thinks I reek or not. Just constantly stressed about my stench. And my neurosis all comes from the worst cut down that I've ever heard. It's a zinger that still sticks with me to this very day. When you hear it, you will be startled for the rest of your days. You will put your hand to your mouth and go, oh, damn. That's how much of a zinger it is. You just wait, because I'm going to tell you the story of the worst cut down that I have ever heard. Brace yourself. Here's how it all went down. In 9th grade math class, I was stuck in the Bermuda Triangle of potheads. Entire school careers were lost in the fogs of pot smoke these guys radiated. There can't possibly be that many drugs in the entire country the way these 3 were always carrying on. Every day was the same, always beginning with the same exact statement, usually by the youngest of the 3. Dude, I got so wasted last night. And this happened every single day. He would detail how he raided his dad's stash while his dad was at work, hope that his dad didn't booby trap it in some way, and hope he didn't get caught because his dad would, quote, beat his ass. And then the other 2 would always chime in with how they also got so wasted the previous night. Yeah, so much for say no to drugs, dare kids. I know these details and I remember them by heart because I heard it every single school day for an entire school year. Because no matter how much the seating chart alternated and changed, I was always right there in the thick of Stoner's Paradise for some reason. All this was done to impress the lone senior in our class, the point of the triangle, if you will, a class, I should tell you, was designed for freshmen and sophomores. Every conversation they had was so boring because it was always about how they stole drugs or snuck out beers and how much they like Bone Thugs and Harmony, but never quite chimed in about it because I preferred to be the invisible yet highly visible eavesdropper on all their conversations. I found them highly fascinating. They never paid me any attention whatsoever. It was like I didn't even exist. Like, they just went about their business. Usually the 3 kept to themselves and preferred to talk about all the drugs they had or wish they had and were going to have and will always have. But one day they decided, for whatever reason, to turn their attention to a kid that usually sat in the front of the class. This kid was particularly ripe on this day. I mean, body odor for days. He was like our own personal pig pen in that classroom. And instead of a careful reminder that teenage boys needed to tend to their hygiene in a somewhat regular fashion, these 3 were a bit more blunt about it, no pun intended. They started rapid-fire hitting this kid with all of these degrading questions, like, do you shower? Do you wear deodorant? And the kid was blowing them off with a casual eye roll, kind of a dismissive tone, too. Like, of course I do. What a stupid thing to ask. It's not a stupid thing to ask. If you were a cartoon character, you would be drawn with green stink lines coming off of you. But this day, the three were relentless hyenas fueled by pubescent testosterone, and they would not stop trying to wear down their prey. These bong-ripping Sherlock Holmes were going to solve this mystery case. Finally, the oldest, the senior, the point of the triangle, delivered the killing stroke. He looked at this kid and dropped this atomic bomb. Man, you need to wash your butt. Without taking a breath, he followed that up by, do you all ever wash that butt? It was the ground and pound after the knockdown to ensure the ref calls the match. The results were devastating. My jaw was wide open. I mean, there was so much stink, again, no pun intended, put on the emphasis of butt. Man, you need to wash your butt. That it was so shocking. I couldn't even believe it. It was filthy. As far as cutdowns go, I guess it was pretty mild. But I always think of that whenever I catch a whiff of body odor or some foul plane, if you know what I'm screaming. Man, you need to wash your butt. That's what I think. The next day he came to class, this kid, and his hair was all slicked down and he smelled like some sort of cologne. So I guess they all did him a favor in the long run by pointing out his problem. But man, part of me wishes that he just came to school the next day defiantly stinky, just so these guys didn't win. Just go on a week-long reek streak and then do something about it. These days, he's probably basking in the sweet smell of success. And he has the 3 points of the stoner triangle to thank for it, too. Maybe that was all that was holding him back, a bar of soap. Who knows? But yeah, for whatever reason, I always held that as the worst cut down I've ever heard. Like, I shudder when I think of it, like being in that kid's place. Man, you need to wash your butt. Ugh, brutal. Brutal. Anyways, this has been the Miserable Retail Slave Show. Hopefully you thought this episode didn't stink, and hopefully you didn't think I beat a dead horse. The moral of today's story, kids, is change your clothes after burying your dead Mr. Ed and take a shower while you're at it. Man, you need to wash that butt. In the meantime, as we try to get our technological issues in order, because our mixer went down, so you're going to have to be dealing with solo shows for a bit. In the meantime, go to that Facebook.com if you like what you heard. Join our Facebook group. Search Miserable Retail Slave there. Follow me on Twitter at mretailslave. Search that hashtag Miserable Retail Slave on all the socials. Live stream for The Cure 4 is coming, and Miserable Retail Slave will be there Thursday, May 28th at 7 p.m. Live stream for The Cure is a live streaming event put on by those epic film guys, in which a bunch of indie pods band together to raise money for cancer research. It's going to be streamed live and without a net on Twitch, so come and join us that day. It's going to be a lot of fun. I guarantee it. I guarantee it even. You know? Also, call the Miserable Hotline so that I have someone to talk to. That is 810-328-3826. Leave a voicemail message and answer this question for me in a segment I want to call the gratuitous question to encourage audience participation. The question is, what is the nastiest smell you've ever encountered? I want you to tell me about that stank. What stunk? What'd you think about that stink? A fun story surrounding that stench? Anything. Call in, leave a message. I'll play it on the show and respond to it. It'll be great. Please do that. Please. So I don't feel like an insane man talking to myself, huh? So this is a new thing I'm trying. Eventually Tommy will be back. And eventually I'll probably have a mixer, I hope. And the goal is to give you more content. So maybe these solo short shows will be sticking around. So let me know what you think about this format, whether you loved it, hated it, indifferent. But if you did love it, tell all your friends, hey, listen to Miserable Retail Slave, please. Our 8-year anniversary is coming up, and we'd love all the listeners to be on board. Okay? Okay. I think that'll about do it for now. So you have your homework. Please do it. Until next time, dear listeners, stay miserable.